Okay, so the phone cut out before. We never really bothered like re-recording it, so I'm just gonna pick up from there. So we started like riding down the road after bro gave us the dates. We're thinking, man, Turkish people so good. Time skip, it's hilly. It's hella hilly. We're making our way in. We ended up veering off that road after getting lunch, and then like side streets because that road's like literally a fucking highway, freeway type shit. And so we make it to what, like 35k away or something, and we're going down a really steep hill, like 13.
35k away is within Istanbul.
Yes, that is the Istanbul metropolitan area.
Yeah, like
Comfortably.
it's.
We've
really
been
the city. It's
we've
not like,
been in Istanbul.
It doesn't even really feel like the outskirts.
No.
It's Istanbul.
No, not at all,
There's
right?
huge malls. There's big buildings. It's the city.
And so we're going down a really steep hill, like 15%. Like I could snowboard down this fucking hill, right?
It was also a main road.
Main road.
Fully main road.
Fully main road.
A used road.
Yes. We are in traffic.
Istanbul's really weird. They build proper roads at like crazy inclines.
Crazy
Like
inclines.
that in cities.
Ever.
Just
I don't see them. And if they are, they're mainly walking streets.
Yeah.
You know, or if not walking streets, streets that are very low traffic, no thoroughfare.
Yeah.
People can drive in it, but they don't, right? I'm going downhill. One of my brakes already doesn't really work, right? I'm holding down my brake. It's not working. Uh-oh. So I'm just crashed, right? And I think I explained how I fell. And so I either can crash into the car in front of me, Sam's a bit in front of me as well, or go into oncoming traffic. So I veer off onto the curb and just fall into the curb. I actually ended up fine. It's like 2 days post. I've got grazes and bruises, but I'm like honestly like unbothered. It's very, very surprising that nothing really went too poorly. I would have been going like maybe 25k an hour, high 20s down the hill, right? The brake just didn't work. In the same fall, by the way, Sam decided to touch his disc brake, which is the metal thing.
Just the brake.
The brake made out of metal, and burnt 3 of his fingers. But regardless, that actually turns out okay. We make it, but we're down at this town, right? And these guys, as we recorded in the other video, just helped us go there.
The bike is broken at this point.
Oh, the bike is still broken, right?
So,
the bike
you can't ride.
can't ride.
Aside injuries aside, you just can't ride it.
And so he takes us next to a mall and next to the metro bus, right?
There's a bus that like has its own lane.
Yeah.
I guess there's a bus.
Yeah. And like an express bus lane. And there's this big mall. So we're like, we're going to the mall. Why not? We won't go straight in the bus. First we went in the cafe. Cleaned up a bit. I had to like wash my wounds and clean them and shit. And then maybe an hour and a half later, we've had some Popeyes and some Cinnabon. And we go over the metro bus, maybe like 4:30. They're not allowed on. Past 4 p.m, bikes aren't allowed on because it's classified as peak hour. So we could have gotten on with our buses had we not gone to the fucking...
So peak hour is 4 p.m. till 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So we literally went to get on the bus at like 4:15, 4:30.
Right after 4.
We like pay for a card, go to enter, and then the security guard's like, "No, you can't do it." So it's essentially like, well, if we want to catch the bus there, you got to wait till 10 p.m, which is quite late.
Quite late.
And we can't walk because it's a 7-hour walk. I could have rode, but
Yes.
Liam can't. So it's
Cannot.
like, there's no point in me doing it because
Yeah.
you're still there.
So we're like, let's get like an Uber or a taxi, right? Like try to get a maxi taxi.
Yeah,
Doesn't work. Just doesn't work. We try Uber, it says we cannot find you one. We find taxi, it says we cannot find you one. It's like 40 minutes, right?
We went to a hotel. The guy tried to call a big taxi to like fit the bikes. Just said no.
No goodsies. So we're like, well, fuck. I try to order a Lux taxi, the one above the maxi taxi. And then they say, no, we can't get you a Lux taxi. Is a maxi taxi fine? I'm like, oh, sure. Why not? That's what I was trying to order before when you said you didn't have it, but it's all right. He shows up, not a maxi taxi. It's not even a sedan.
It's just a normal
It's
taxi.
just a car.
Like a Toyota Camry. It was a Fiat.
And at that point, Sam's like, okay, I know what we got to do. We tie our bikes up. We go into the city in the hotel. We get them later.
Yeah, because it's like
5:30?
Yeah, 5:30, 6 o'clock. Even by car, it's an hour, hour and a half
Yeah.
into the city because
Yeah.
the traffic's pretty bad.
Yeah.
By bus, it's an hour and a half, maybe 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like our options are, well, you can't walk. That's not an option.
No.
The options are book a hotel here because they exist. We've already booked a hotel
Yeah.
in here.
Yeah. The actual city.
That's the first option. The second option is sit on the curb until 10 p.m.
Yeah.
and then go then.
Go to the bike. Put the bike on the
And
thing.
then the third option is lock the bikes up,
Yeah.
take a fucking taxi into the city because we're really tired at this point.
Yeah.
We generally, we wake up early-ish, 6,
Yeah.
7 o'clock, and go to bed at 9.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So 6 p.m. is like, it's been a long day. We're quite tired. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? We're not trying to fucking stay up until 12.
Yeah.
1. So we just get to here.
In the
essentially-
taxi, right?
Yeah, just get in the taxi.
So we're in the taxi. Mind you, 2 Turkish men have already been saints to us today. And we're just, the guy's chatting. He's whipping up Google Translate, talking into it, because bro does not speak English. And he's like, oh, whatever, right? Anything you want to ask me? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Where's a good food or like good meal we should eat? And he's like, oh, go this place. My friend runs it. And we're like, oh yeah. And he shows us. He's like, yeah, I'll take you there. He'll take care of you. Don't worry, bro. It's like cheap. It's good. And we're like, sure. Yeah, sure. We'll go there. So we pull up. We get to our hotel. Maybe like an hour and a half in the car. He stops the car right in front of our hotel. And then another car's coming by.
Well, it's a one-way street.
One-way street.
He stops the car in the middle of the street in front of the hotel. We get out. As we're getting out, the cars behind him start piling up.
Yeah.
So he wants to get out of there. We, we've just gotten out. We're trying to open the boot for our stuff. It doesn't open because he hasn't hit the button.
Yeah.
And he just drives off.
Yeah.
And the door is still open.
Yeah.
Because he didn't fucking look.
No.
And it immediately just hits a pole.
Yeah, and closes
it.
and dents
but
it.
it dents the door.
Yeah.
And then so he's fucking mad.
Yeah.
And he blames it on. It wasn't our fault.
Not at all.
It just was.
Just
He drove
0%
off.
our fault.
He just drove off without fucking looking.
He dropped us off and then decided mid dropping off, wait, I need to go, and then drove off and got the car door
He
dented.
just didn't look. He just assumed it was closed, didn't look. Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's not my fucking door.
Yeah.
But he's mad at us.
Yeah. For sure.
So that kind of sours the mood somewhat.
Also, he said after we should just drop our stuff off and then he'll drive us straight to the restaurant.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get back in the taxi.
Yeah, we were just gonna go upstairs, put our stuff off, and then go back in the taxi, and he was gonna drive us to this restaurant. So we were only gonna be going for a minute. So it's like the mood's soured, but we have to like
Go
Go
straight back in his shit. And then we get in. A brother in a suit and tie picks us up from the taxi.
Yeah, so like we end up getting back we go to the restaurant.
Go to the restaurant.
When we get to the restaurant, he drops us off at the main road. A waiter from the restaurant in a suit and tie meets us at the side
A
of
bald
the road.
motherfucker, shiny head.
And so immediately we see him, we're like, oh god, what
We
fucking
fucked up.
restaurant are we going to?
How much are we spending? And it's on the bridge. It's under the bridge. Like there's like a walking path under and on the bridge between the European and Asian side. And it's there.
It's under the bridge in a nice way.
Yeah.
No,
not bad. Just kind of like where a cycling path would be, but
like
it's just like
waterfront
pedestrian.
restaurants.
Yeah, like waterfront. And we rock up. We see the prices. It's it's seafood. The cheapest fish, individual meal fish, they're all individual, is $40. We don't instantly walk out. What led us to make that decision? I don't know. We were fuming about it for like an hour
couldn't see
during
the
and
menu?
after. No, we couldn't.
Until we sat down.
Yeah.
And so it's like the waiters met us on the side of the road, walked us to the restaurant, we've sat down, and then we've been like, shit,
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking pay for this.
Yeah.
And it just kind of felt too late. I felt locked in. Even though realistically I'm
We
not
just
locked
went. We could have just walked
in.
away.
Just fucking leave.
Nothing was stopping us from just straight up leaving.
But
But
it
we were
felt locked
tired. So much had happened.
Also, because of the door, I felt obliged to the driver.
Yeah.
Even though he's no longer there.
He's no longer there.
We paid him too much money anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Anyway, we didn't tip him. We just asked for that amount of money, but like,
Yeah.